me and this girl who's Jewish, which is relevant to the story. And the dude,
Just throwing that out there.
It's relevant, I promise. But we had to go to like a neighborhood and find like a weird thing about it, and then study something about it. So we went to Flatbush, and we're just kind of walking around Flatbush, like, all right. So we go to the Target there, and we saw like at the junction, it's like at the end of the line of the two. There's a Target there, and like if you go down one block, it's like all Caribbean, like a whole Caribbean neighborhood, and a whole nother block, it's all Jewish. So we're like, okay, like this is weird, like these, but they all intersect at the Target. So we're like, okay, this is weird. There are two different communities. They don't interact with each other. But at this Target, like all you see, it's like you see this mixture.
How'd you know they don't interact with each other?
Because it's like one block, it's all like Hasidic Jewish community, and the other block it's Caribbean, and you just didn't see them interact. Like it's just opposite. Like we went there a couple of times over the course of a couple of weeks, like just observing. So we're like, okay, let's start interviewing people. So when we were there in the Jewish community, none of the Hasidic Jews would speak to me, but like she was able to talk to them. So
they wouldn't even speak to you? Like you tried to talk to them and they just like ignored you?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to speak to. I don't know too much about.
Did she tell you what that was about?
She told me. I don't remember it. I don't want to speak incorrectly. Something culturally, like, because a lot, especially New York City, like it's like they have the Hasidic Jewish community in New York City. Like they have their own rules, their own world, own community. So I think it's more of like them living within that bubble and not interacting or speaking to people.
That's kind of weird. I mean, it's like they're segregating themselves, like to not even say hello, or if somebody's trying to talk to you. I don't know. Maybe it was a factor. Was it an on-camera interview? Like were you putting the camera on them?
But I tried to talk to them before we pulled the camera out, because I'm like, let me start a conversation before I'm like, come over the camera,
How's it feel like being Jewish?
Right.
In New York, in Flatbush.
And then in the Caribbean community, I would talk to them. So we kind of like, I would run the interviews with like the Black people, and she would run the interviews with the white Hasidic Jewish people. So that was like our case study, and I'm like, I just offered to edit it. I'm like, all right, whatever, I'll edit the video. And I was like, damn, I'm really into this. Like, making the music and shit, cutting it. Like, and my partner was like, yo, you're actually like a fire editor. And I'm like, girl, bye. Like,
wait, this is before you're even editing your music videos?
Yeah, this is before I was even doing music. Like,
oh, wow. Okay,
this is before, because I thought I was going to graduate college and manage artists. Like, I'm like, okay, it's too late for me. I'm old. Like, I'm going to just be a manager. Like, I'm trying to make money. I'm not going to make money off my art, whatever. So when she said that, I'm like, editor, like, what the fuck? There's like, I'm not a video editor. Like, you're wildin'. And then I graduated, or I think before I graduated, like Revolt TV was doing some competition, like, oh, submit a video, da da da. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go hard. I'm about to try to do this thing. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna try. So I rented like a camera from cause my college, like you could rent equipment and shit. So I rented a camera. I started going out and just interviewing all my friends, because I did, like, a lot of my friends were creatives and really dope, and I was always going to cool parties and shit. So I'm interviewing them. I put this whole video together and like didn't win the competition, but like people started to be like, yo, this is fire. Like, you should keep doing shit like this. So
so that what you submitted to Revolt wasn't the communities in Flatbush?
No, that was a senior thesis. So that was my thesis for that class. We did it. I got an A on it. It was dope. And then from there, right after that is when I did the Revolt TV competition. Okay. Like, this is all my senior year, because I'm like, I'm about to graduate. I don't know what the fuck I'm about to do. Like, let me just start throwing shit at the wall. And then... Oh,
also, before you get off the case study, was there like a theme or a question on the case study? Like, what were you actually studying?
Okay, yeah, I should wrap that up. What happened? It was... So we basically were studying the Target. We were studying like how they interacted there, and we were studying like why there was no interaction. Like, we were kind of asking them like,
so that was like the thing, like why?
Yeah, why was there was no interaction? And then we were looking at how to create Target to create more of that interaction, where people intentionally speak instead of they just end up in the same place to shop. So we looked at companies like Starbucks, which was created specifically to have people chill, because Starbucks was modeled off of like the cafes in Europe, like, and in the US, when people go to eat somewhere, it's like, okay, eat and get the fuck out. But
Oh
in
yeah,
Europe, it's kind of
yeah,
like
yeah. I'm
you
from
eat.
Bosnia. That's the kind of we on the same shit. Like it's just a thing to just go out and grab some coffee and just chill and talk
Yeah.
to somebody. Like
Yeah. So we're like, okay, that's how Starbucks was made. How do we kind of make that in Target? So we had to create, because I forgot, it was like it was an urban intervention type class where we would like go to spaces and find ways to kind of like Banksy it up type shit. Like, how do we transform this space to be more than what it is? It's like very. I went to Parsons, so everything was innovation and abstract and all that shit. So our thesis essentially was to create like a space within the Target for people to hang out and interact and shit like
did you
that.
talk to like the Target employees? Like okay, so they were cool with it. Like they were on board.
They were cool with it, yeah. I mean, it's
Like you're
new.
just going in Target and just setting shit up. Like Ren, like what are y'all doing here? Like,
Oh no, we didn't set anything up. It's like we created like 3D models of what it would look like, but we didn't actually do anything. Yeah. So our presentation was like the interviews with people, with like the community members, the interviews with the employees, and then we had 3D model renderings of what the space would look like in Target. I can't believe I remember. It was such a long time ago.
yeah. So okay, so you fall in love with editing, doing that video.
Yeah.
You don't get the revolt submission.